Hello, folks. Still have to beat up this Earth Elemental. He's kicking our ass. I had some recording difficulties. Had to restart the fight. Things have gone less well this time. Oh, if my monk gets killed. No, don't happen. Why am I risking everything? Oh, come on. Another fire? Okay. So we should be heading out of the Earth Cave now, or not. You can run away. Yeah, there's one more chest room in the upper east corner. So I want to get that before we go. So last time I was describing all the classes and how they differed as a part of my game design, because I wanted each character to have a distinct feel. And in the meanwhile, I did some recounting, and it's not 13 different skills. It's actually 11, and 9 of the classes in this game have them. So it's the 4 different magic schools, and 2 different types of physical attacking, and 2 ways of avoiding physical attacks, plus running away, better encounters, and magic resistance. So that's 11 total. Now this game has 2 hybrids. The Sage was a magical hybrid, in my opinion. You could argue that being able to cast spells more effectively than others would be another skill, but it's hard to program because a lot of spells in this game are binary, kind of like poison. You either hit or not, and I don't think they're influenced that much, if at all, by the intellect. I don't know. Did I haven't programmed the way the intellect, not other poison, how intellect influences spells. I received a patch from somebody, from Czong to be precise, so thanks for that. And I don't know if that influences spells that need to hit or not, so I don't know if the Sage is better at hitting with spells than the other casters. Anyhow, I don't think it's big enough difference to count as another talent. So we have the Sage as the hybrid caster, and of course the all-round hybrid is the Ranger. Did it again. So 9 classes of something special, 2 hybrids, and leaves 1 left. Well, that's the Fool, who I described earlier, who can't do anything really special. He isn't good at anything at all, actually, so which makes him unique in another way. And the net effect of having all these different classes is that, well, I enjoy this game. This must be, I've lost count. I can't even guess anymore, or estimate. Still can't cast level 5 spells. Okay, we're going to make a trip to Elfland to get the last level 4 spells. Yeah, so I keep playing this game, and each time it feels different. It helps, of course, patching it all the time too. This time I'm testing new hit point values, which might or might not make the difference I want. So far, I'm very happy with the effectiveness of nuke spells. That was my main concern. Don't make them too strong or too weak. And still, the Warlock's big part of this group, pulling her weight, but not doing too much of the work. Get that one first. Bio which sleeps and poisons your enemies. Good combo. Put them to sleep and then also make them lose 10% of their hit points each turn. Finally, Shell and Ice 2. And that was our money. Let's look at the spells again. Yes, I already have the Bolt 3. Well, the Monk will soon have access to level 4 spells, but I don't have the money for that. And that's part of the plan. Because I put the money in the game in such a way that you won't be able to buy everything. Now, I have a bit of a quirk, namely, I always buy the spells in a certain order. I like to have my spell list organized in such a way so well, you could figure it out for yourselves, but sometimes I make it a little bit harder for myself because it would be a better idea to have another spell, but instead I first buy the other one because I want my spells to be listed in a certain way. Okay, we won't be grinding. Level 10 is 2 levels short of what I usually expect from myself and thus other players to beat the game. Beat the Earth Cave. We'll see how far we get. This trip I'll be focusing on going into the last floor and coming out again alive. There's a teleport on the 3rd floor, so we'll be going for that. Here are our shadows. Should I bind them? No, we're going to try to be lucky. They're hard to hit, but I think we'll manage. In case I haven't made it clear enough, it's harder to run away in this version of the game than the past Final Fantasy Ultra. To be honest, it was way too easy in the original Final Fantasy Ultra. I remember looking back at my Let's Play and thinking, Jesus, I escaped from every fight in the first round. That's not supposed to be the case. I'm running away a lot now because I want to get deep into the dungeon. I'm picking my fights, but as you see, I don't manage to get away the first round. I'll still fight any easy enemies. But knights, they have high armor, they require me to use magic, and I don't want to do that. Move it. So continuing theory on this game, I mentioned earlier that I preferred not having magical points, and I'll tell you why now. Like, let's say you have a shooting game, and I know one shooting game that does do this, and instead of having rockets and nails and grenades and whatnot, you basically have one stat that says ammo or ammunition. Now that would be less interesting, wouldn't it be? I like to believe so. The sequel to Deus Ex, named Deus Ex Invisible War, did use that. The creators thought that would be elegant, to only have one ammo stat, and it turned out that, well, it's hard to describe why, but it's just more fun when you have multiple forms of ammunition and you economize in that way. And I get the same feeling when I play this game. I have these spells, these are what I have, and it's not like in the other versions of Final Fantasy 1 for the Game Boy fans. A heal 2 is like 2.5 heals because it costs 2.5 of the hit points, magic points. So I don't like that as much. I prefer the idea of thinking, okay, I have this spell 3 more times this dungeon trip, and I like to think, how will I be using it the rest of the trip? This game's challenge is finding a way to use your resources correctly. Oh, I'm poisoned. I would have noticed if I had the sound on. So yeah, this game's all about resource management. A lot of games are, actually, if you analyze them. But I think this game excels at resource management because you have all these different characters at your disposal. And what's the value of using an attack or a spell at a certain moment? And the challenge is to see how far you get, how much you get out of each run, without losing it all, because you wipe. Well, that's what I keep asking myself. I think I have enough resources to do this part. I don't think I'll have enough resources to get the next treasure. Maybe I will. Yeah, again, you don't have to fight these fellows. So to consider putting another kind of battle here, because it's actually too easy to run away. But I can't think of another enemy that would fit in the Earth Cave, which you can't run away. You see, most versions of Final Fantasy 1 have quite a lot of enemies you can't run away from, and I don't like that. I think running is what the rogue's good at, and he should be able to do that for most encounters. Good, half of them died. That's the way I want to balance the holy spell, so that half of these fellows get killed. So I only have about 10 enemies in the game you can't run away from. They are, and they all kind of make sense. First of all, dragons. You can't run away from dragons. I kind of like that idea. I mean, running away from a dragon is kind of anticlimactic. So those you have to fight. Then you have the Mind Flayers or Pisco Demons. They guard the TNT, which is good. But I kind of think that maybe this flavor has never came to anybody's mind. But hey, they're Mind Flayers. They're controlling your mind, and they're forcing you to fight them. Does that make sense? Well, they are usually paired, according to the code, with dragons. So, because the dragons are not fleeable, you can't run away from Mind Flayers anyway. So, that's just the way it is. You can't run away from I don't have a good spell here. You can't run away from worms, mostly sandworms. You encounter them quite a lot second half part of the game. They're sneaky, you know. They crawl under the sand and they get back at you. The eye enemies, they're my go-to protector enemies. They look really fierce and they have nasty spells. And they're always a risk. There's always a risk of them killing you because within a couple of rounds they actually kill they cast the kill spell. So I use them to protect most chests. But I don't know any enemies for the Earth Cave which you can't run away from, and I find suitable according to the theme or the level. Maybe it's something I should look at. Okay, the time's running out. I'm going to go back to town, and then we'll try to beat the Earth Cave.